welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment and the sports capital of the world. Welcome again to my dear co-host, Shelley Stevens. And today we have a special guest, somebody that really touched my heart the other day because it's unbelievable. I got to see him in a movie, and he's an actor, producer, and a former retired law enforcement individual. A good friend. His name is Maynard Bagan.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Maynard Bagan is an individual that brought so much to this world. Not only were you saving a lot of lives out there as law enforcement, and you were with the Metro Police here for 20 years, right?
Yeah, actually, no. I was in the Navy. So after 12 years of being in the Navy, I got out, and then I joined Metro. I was with Metro for 12 and a half years.
12 and a half years.
And at the same time, I was doing my reserve. So I retired from the Navy as well as a reservist. Yeah.
So you're Navy. Where were you stationed with the Navy?
A lot. I was put on my first 12 years. I was deployed quite a bit. I was in Norfolk, Virginia. I was in Great Lakes, Groton, Connecticut. I was deployed in the Mediterranean. I was deployed in the Pacific. I was deployed in South America, and of course the Middle East seems to be the favorite spot for the ships.
And you've been in Vegas how many years now?
Since 2004, so 12 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You like it?
Yeah. Vegas. Well, family's here, so that's it makes it a lot easier.
Sure.
To make decisions when you're with your family.
Sure.
Yeah, it's funny. My husband and I, we moved here in 2000. We're originally from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And we started performing together, years ago. And then somehow we started on cruise ships, and we were on Norwegian cruise lines. Meanwhile, we had a cruise director that came to join us, and he was telling us about a cruise company in Asia called Star Cruises, and they were based in Singapore. And so anyway, he left and decided to take us with him. And that's how we got started on ships in Asia. And we met so many beautiful people from the Philippines. And then eventually he had us performing in this place called Resorts World, which is now one here in Vegas as well. So we opened up Resorts World. So I have a really fond affection for the Philippines because we got to stay in the Philippines for a while.
Yeah. Philippines is nice. There's a lot of good spots there.
Yeah, like you said, the beaches, the food,
and
people.
But it's
so
hot.
lovely.
It's very hot. Yeah, so really hot weather.
You're surrounded by so much water there, the humidity. Let me ask you a question now. You got into acting how long ago?
Back in 2018. So actually, I take that back. I've been in Vegas for 22 years now. I said 12 years earlier. So 2004, after I got out of the Navy, and then I joined Metro. 2017, I retired as a police officer. So after I retired, I wasn't planning on doing anything. I just wanted to stay home. But my daughter, she used to do some pictorials because she was doing part-time modeling at that time.
Oh, nice.
She was in school. And I accidentally met a casting director in town. Her name is Julie Goldman, a very nice lady. And we spoke, and then she said, I want to book you. And I said no. Well, because I don't have any training. I've never been to film school. But she asked me one question that kind of hooked me in. She said, well, can you follow orders? I said, well, yeah, I have done that for many years.
Yeah.
And basically, she convinced me, and she booked me as a background actor for the This Is Us with Mandy Moore, the Vegas episode.
Oh, so you were an extra.
Yes, I was an
Cool.
extra.
An extra, okay.
Yes.
And then, so when you've done a couple of movies already besides that, right?
Yes. Well, so I was doing extra. I said, well, this is easy. It's not like the jobs I had before. You just lounge around, they feed you, and then when they're ready for you, pretend like you're happy, you know. But then on the third month I was doing background, they made me a police officer. So I said, oh no, you did not do that. So on the third day, I was working as background in this Chinese TV series called Seven. The stunt director came up to me. I remember, I think it's Art Camacho. He's also local in town, a filmmaker. And then he said, you got some skills. I said, well, yeah, I was a cop and I was in the military. You tell me to, you know, search a building, I know exactly what to do. And then he said, well, I can see that. And then the director came up to me, gave me a piece of paper with 8 lines. He said, you have 3 minutes to memorize this. So after 3 minutes, he came back, took the paper, and then he said, let me hear it. I said, oh, okay. So I was able to say it. And then he said, you're it. So they mic'd me up. That's when I got, where I got really nervous. I started walking in circles. I said, well, I can't mess this up now because everything I say, they can hear, right? But when they said action, and I just went for it, and I really love that feeling of being vulnerable on camera, but at the same time, you just navigate your way and just go for it. And it started from there, and then I got my agent. Now I have 4 agents and a talent manager. So it kind of rolled from there, and I was able to become a member of SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you know, watching your movie the other Sanctuary.
The Sanctuary, yes.
Sanctuary, and watching you play the role of a doctor, and how you played that role of, you had me in tears. I mean, you were so emotional in the movies, at the beginning of the movie, where you had gotten married with the young lady, and then 10 years later she died in the hospital. You were at the bedside, and she died of cancer. And you broke down. She died holding your hand, and she broke down. You broke down, and you were so upset. And then you had to go for a therapist, right?
Yes.
You had to go for therapy with a therapist for a while, and you couldn't accept it at the beginning. And then, I mean, the role of that movie, Sanctuary, was really amazing. I think that's one of the best short movies I've ever seen. It was only like, what, 72 minutes?
Yeah, 72 minutes, yes. So it's a full feature,
Yeah.
more than 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was one of our goals when we were filming it. It has to be more than 60 minutes to qualify for major distribution platforms.
Yeah.
Do we have a clip of that?
Yeah, we should do. Well,
I think
we
Rick
got
has a clip, right?
Rick is going to be showing my engineer, going to show something up here. Well, actually, this is a clip when you as a boxing, you with the boxing commission. You're an inspector there, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's not that clear of a picture, but we have a little video of you checking the hand wraps of the fighter. You with the red jacket there, checking the fighter's hand wrap. You guys sign off on them.
Yes.
Make sure. You've been doing that for how many years now?
Since 2020, so about 6 years
6
now.
years. You've been
Yes.
inspector for the Nevada State Athletic Commission here in Las Vegas, and that's great. So you do a little bit of everything. You're a producer, you're an actor, and you're an inspector.
Well, that's the privilege of being retired.
Yeah.
So I have that leeway, which is, I think, is important. When I first met my agent, the only question he asked me was, "Are you going to be available for me?" And I said, "Well, I'm retired. You can send me to the Philippines tomorrow. I can go." And he said, "That's all I want to hear." And I think that puts me in a better spot compared to other younger actors who are trying to make both ends meet and work at the same time and trying to do auditions. Because for me, short notice is not a problem.
Right.
Yes, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity, even though I didn't even expect that I would be acting.
Yeah, there's a couple of photos that we got there now with the. You told us about a little bit about this.
Wow.
That's the short film. Yes, that is the
Wow.
short film of The Sanctuary, and what happened there is we did the short film. The short film is only 15 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And I couldn't find a director. So I was forced to direct it. And once I finished the short film, then I became a little bit more ambitious. And I said, you know what, let's make it a feature film. Because the short film actually got distributed. It's on Relay, which I never expected. 'Cause I never thought short films will be in, distribution talks. And we won some awards from that. We shot it for half a day, and it did really well on festivals. So we created the full feature film of The Sanctuary.
Well, The Sanctuary, any more features we have there here we go, and then that was the commission. And,
Is that Pacquiao?
that's Pacquiao.
Wow.
Yes.
You in the dressing room, you're checking out the gloves and the hand wraps, everything. You gotta be signed off by you. Yeah, so now you've been doing this now with the commission, you said 6 years. And you're retired, and I got my friend Vinny that reports with you. He's been with the commission as an inspector. I believe one of the seniors there with the commission as an inspector for about the last 15 years. And you've been there with him now 6 years.
Yes,
you guys
6
work
years.
hand. And one of the ladies that played a role in the movie with Vinny, he played one of the ICE individuals in the movie. And the girl, his wife in the movie, is also one of the inspectors.
Yes, that's
and,
correct.
And who else was in the movie with the commission?
Actually, our chief inspector,
yeah,
Alex Ibarra, is in the movie, and he played as one of the ICE agents. And also, I have Louise Payan, who's also an inspector.
Yeah.
Jasmine Davis, of course, our lead actress. She's an inspector.
Right.
And Damir Muzdibayev, the tall ICE agent. Muzdibayev, he's also an inspector.
Yeah, he was the director of the ICE agents on the movie.
So we kind of, produced it all together and made it happen. When I asked them, I said, well, this is the script, this is what I'm planning to do. And they looked at it and they said, you know what, let's do it. So we all pitched in and were able to make it a full feature.
I tell you, everybody that played a great role, but I like your role the best.
Oh, thank you so much.
And of course,
I can't wait to see this. So when is it going to be shown in a movie theater for everybody to see?
We are in negotiation. Actually, the rights has been bought by Indie Rights, so they cover all the streaming platforms and also international releases, even theatrical international releases. The only thing I have control of right now is U.S. Theatrical release. So I'm in negotiations with a lot of local theaters, and hopefully we can come up with some type of a deal where we can show it to the public. On a big screen.
Look forward to that. Yeah.
Like I said before, I was so impressed with it. I mean, I've seen movies my whole life, but this one really touched me.
He's been talking about it ever since he saw it.
It's the movie is written from the heart. I never told a lot of people this, but there was a time when I got out of the Navy after 12 years, I became homeless. So I was homeless for a few months. I was sleeping outside the churches. Is trying to, get over the day.
Where was this at? Where?
It's in Las Vegas. And I was trying to see my kids. I was divorced at that time, and I was trying to see my kids every now and then. And the struggle, that's why when I wrote it, it was coming from the heart on what a homeless person's struggle is. How do you, navigate the weather, how do you find the food, how do you get a little bit of money to make it for the day.
Yeah.
And but God is good. He blessed me with a job before Metro. I actually got hired because I got out of the military. The post office hired me,
Okay.
so I was a mailman.
Oh, really?
One of my glamorous careers for a short time. So I was a mailman, delivering mail. And it's actually a funny story. I was in field training as a carrier, mail carrier, and I have all this mail, inserted between my fingers. And it was a windy night. I think I was delivering mail right there on Cary and Martin Luther King, and the mailboxes there are one per house, so you have to walk or drive it one by one, and then they have those like. The missing person information, but it was windy. The wind blew like thousands of those, right? So I was picking them up. Children were laughing at me. Dogs are barking. And then, so what I did is I was putting them in the mailboxes one by one. And then somebody called my supervisor. They say, "Oh, you put the wrong mail in the mailbox." I didn't know they have a specific address, but they say the same thing. So that was my funny experience as a mailman. And then, but they gave me the opportunity to become a regular. So I became a regular. But then Metro called me and they said, "We want to offer you the job." So I took it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So you applied for the position at Metro?
I applied for the position and I told them, I laid out all my cards as if this is me. I left nothing behind, and they said, "Okay, we want you."
I saw something on YouTube in 2024. You got some kind of an honorary award. So you did something.
With Metro, actually, it was back in, I believe, 2006. There was a shooting at Harris Casino, the old Harris Casino. It was, I believe, on the 11th floor. So we responded to that, and it was a robbery. Basically, the suspect took the victim from the garage to his room, and then robbed him and barricaded.
Oh.
So when we got there, tried to say he shot the victim, unfortunately, and
Did he die?
The victim died later on, but when he was alive, bleeding, so I was able to pull him out while the suspect was firing his weapon, and unfortunately the victim died, but we were able to apprehend the suspect, and the department, LVMPD, was kind enough to reward me with a Medal of Honor for that.
Good. That's
Yes.
great.
Oh, great. Well, you did a lot of good
Yeah.
things. So you done a little bit of everything. And you played the role of a doctor in the movie. In Sanctuary.
Yes,
You were a
yes,
doctor.
yes.
A doctor, and then you had the little herbs, and the little girl had a little temperature. And she was homeless, and you gave her little herbs.
Yes. Well, luckily, one of the producers is a doctor, Dr. Sherman Young, who is also in the movie. He played as the father of one of the ICE agents. I don't know if you remember, they were talking in the backyard.
Yes.
So he's a real doctor, and he is the father of the little girl that played
Isabel?
yes.
I pay close attention.
Mara, yes, the daughter of Isabella.
Isabel Martinez.
So her name is Aria Isabella Young.
Young, that's
very, very talented.
That's
young
right.
girl. It was her first time.
Right.
Time acting.
Yes.
And
You were about 10 years old, right?
yes. So Dr. Sherman gave me a little bit of coaching on how to become a doctor for the day.
That is so cool.
And you did very good. I mean, when you were holding the hand of your wife in the movie, and she was dying in bed, and you were holding her hand, and you guys, I believe you exchanged for the ring. What the ring was that?
Yes. Well, the movie, from the movie, basically that ring is what I've been looking at every time we go to the store, and because she said, I always see you look at it, and then she gave it to me before she died. But I'm not gonna give out too much. I want you to watch it.
I can't wait.
Very good movie. I mean, it's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
he's been going crazy about it since he saw it.
I've seen so many people.
It's very emotional.
It is.
It's very emotional.
I mean, and when you played that role when your wife was dying in the bed as a doctor, you were holding her hand, and the way you talked to her, and the tears coming out of your eyes, and you were so emotional. Very, very touching.
Yeah, it's as an actor, in the beginning, when I became an actor, I was content with, okay, you make me a cop or a military or something. But then I started getting auditions from very challenging roles, like a bad guy, a rapist, or a drug dealer, or something like that are not. I can't dig from my past,
Right.
because I was never that.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So I started taking classes from different acting coaches in LA,
Oh wow.
and I learned. And from this acting coach that I got in LA, he brings out the natural emotion in you that you need to work on. And basically that's what I did on that scene. It was a bit challenging because I have to go dark, things that you really don't want to happen to somebody, to be able to portray that very well. And but I have to decompress after every take because my hands are shaking afterwards,
I can
because
imagine.
because it's very emotional, especially thinking about somebody dying.
I want you to tell our viewers on that camera there. I want you to tell about when you were homeless and how you came out of that and you came up to where you are today. I want you to tell our viewers out there. You give them a good point of view.
Well, as a homeless person, the struggle is unbearable, but there's hope. The thing that really kept me going is my faith. I always knew that I will be taken care of. And during those days, I call it my dark ages. I start getting, because I really wanted to see my kids. I could have stayed in the Navy, but they were going to send me overseas. They were going to send me to South Korea for 6 years, and I won't see my kids growing up, and they're in Vegas. So I decided to get out, and then I didn't have a job. And I was paying child support at the same time, so all my savings went away really quick. So I slept I slept outside of the churches because they closed at night, and because I didn't have a place to stay, and I pray.
Yeah.
But I knew one thing: whatever is meant for you is gonna be there. I know that I never missed a meal. There's always someone that comes my way who tries to help me. And then things fell into place.
Yeah.
The way it's supposed to. I got hired by the post office, and I said, "Oh my God, I have a job. I can support my kids now." Because when I was in the Navy, I was proud. I was young. I was ambitious. I want to be this. I was on top of the world. But then I might have forgotten him, and he put me down on my knees.
Mm-hmm.
But then he built me back up. So don't lose hope. If hopefully you don't get into that situation, but if you do, there's always hope, and there's always a chance that you'll make it, and someone out there is meant to help you. They're gonna be there for you at the right time, and I truly believe that, because everything fell in the right moment for me.
Yeah, you're definitely an inspiration to a lot of individuals out there. I mean, talking to you right now, I feel you're a little bit emotional, but I can understand that you're the kind of person. Your heart's in the right place. You know that God is in your corner, and you've always been trying to be a good father, and it shows the kind of person you are. And that's why I actually, when I first saw you, I said, "Wow, what a guy!" I didn't know that. Now, even have you on the show here, it goes to prove that I didn't know a lot about you like I do now. You know, you really are a very special person. I think you're somebody. You're the kind of people we need in this world to make things better, to make this a better world. You know, how old are your kids now?
Actually, my daughter is gonna be 37 soon.
Wow.
I have grandkids. I have 2 grandkids,
Oh,
and
okay.
then I have another son. He's 34,
Oh.
and then I have my youngest stepson. Actually, he just turned 30 and just got married.
Wow.
So yeah, they have their own lives, and I was able, to see them grow, which is amazing. That's all I was asking for, and I was given more. Who would have thought I would be acting? Because in the Philippines, I don't know if you know this, if you're an actor, you have to look like a model. You have to be tall.
Yeah.
You have to be young.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nowhere near that category. I'm short and I'm old, and I'm not handsome like a lot of models out there.
But you have a lot more.
But
you got
what God wants,
That's right. You
it prevails.
Yeah.
you got a heart of gold. That's for sure. I can see that.
Yes, you do.
You don't have to try to tell us about that. We know already. And you also had a referee named Carlos Padilla for the Philippines.
Yes.
Who was a very known referee. He refereed the Trill in Manila with Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. Now, he was in a family with the actors. Somebody was
Yeah. Well, they are huge in the Philippines.
Right.
The whole family. That's like a dynasty. The Padilla, Cruz, and also Salvador, which one of the actresses, our lead actress, is Salvador.
Yeah.
One of the royalties in the Philippines. She was famous back in the day, in the 80s when she was really young.
right.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, when I was a cop, I was in the gang unit, and I met the reporter Bev Lorente from the Filipino channel, and she asked me to find a boxer who looks like Pacquiao, because they were gonna shoot a commercial. Back then, there was rumor that it's gonna be Pacquiao Mayweather, so they wanted to make that commercial. It's for a healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Up to the last day, I couldn't find a boxer. And then she said, "We'll make you the boxer." I said, "Well, I do karate, but I'm not a boxer. And then I don't have abs like the boxer." It's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. We have makeup. We'll fix it." So she was able to convince me, and I did a commercial with Carlos Padilla. On this healthcare commercial, and that was my very first time, experiencing the cameras.
Wow.
And I was terrified.
Well, fans, I tell you out there today, you fans out there watching, today's show is very special. Having Menard with us and Shelley. It was unbelievable.
He's one of the most interesting guests we have had. I'm so happy to have met you.
Yeah.
And I hear you're coming to Lola's tonight. Is that true?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm so excited about that. Really. Oh my
It's
goodness.
likewise.
Lolo tonight from 6 to 10 p.m.
Yes.
We're gonna get there at 7 tonight. We have a group of Vinny and his Lucy and the whole gang, yourself, and Vinny's retirement from the TSA, and if he's still an inspector, he'll stay with the commission like yourself as an inspector. That's a good job for retirees, individuals.
Yeah, I'm really happy for him that he's retiring finally.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's a hard worker.
Yeah, he did 55 years hard labor for his whole career.
Wow.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week. We're fair, but we're firm. God bless you. Thank you. See you soon.
Thank
Shelley,
you.
undisputed champion. Hey, my next champion lined up right here.
Thank
See
you very much, Joe.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
See you next week.